So no adventure today. The adventure is actually doing some installations of an electronic brake control in my Tacoma, because I'm going to be renting a trailer here next month for a trip, and I need a brake controller. So I purchased one on Amazon. It is the Tekonsha Primus IQ, and then also the bolt, or the plug and play adapter that goes from the controller to the built-in electronic brake control for the tow package in the Tacoma. Now that's an option, so if you don't have the tow package, you won't have that already built in, from what I understand, but this should be essentially plug and play, and then it's just really a matter of installing the bracket where I need it. This is the basically the attachment that holds the controller in place. There's some screws here to adapt the bracket onto the vehicle, and then obviously this goes to the plug for the brake controller, and then the ground. So in order to do the install, a couple trim pieces here will have to come out, and then this piece will also have to come out, and the connector will be right back in there. And then what I will likely do is right here in this area, I will probably pull this panel off and mount it right around here. I tried to put it here. The Tacoma has a slot here, but the device won't fit into that area. This is not wide enough. I'd actually have to cut pieces out here, and I definitely don't want to do that. So I think the best option is I'm going to put it right here. I don't think that'll interfere with getting in and out of the truck. I'll mount it pretty closely, and I think I'll actually put a little hole in there so that the wiring can actually go behind this, so I don't have it exposed and hanging down. So let's get started. This is just to remove this trim piece, which should come up. I have a little trim. You might want to use this, although a screwdriver can likely work just as well, but this tends to help prevent breakage, and that comes right up once you get it going. There's a couple of snaps. This one just does the same thing. That one actually. Just want to be kind of gentle with these. They are plastic, and what I have noticed is, because I have a fairly old Miata, over time the plastic, especially in the south where it's very hot, will degrade. So the more you manhandle it, the more likely you are to actually break some of the plastic that's weakened. That is the control plug for the brake controller system that comes standard, and there is a ground. I think it's right around here. Where's the ground? I guess I could probably do it there. I thought there was a ground somewhere. No, I don't want to lose that. All right, so to get the plastic panel off, you'll have exit screw here, an exit screw here, and this 10mm nut will have to come out as well. And then, as you can see, I've already started it, removed it, but that'll release that panel, and then I'll have access to be able to drill. So I think what I'm going to do is I don't think I need the bracket. The bracket would be sort of like this. I don't really think I need that. This has two mounting holes as well. So what I think that I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it, if I can, right like that. So it'll be relatively flat and flush. I have to see what's behind here. If I've got access to that, I may not be able to do that, and I don't want to break any or damage any of the electronics here. So I have to look at this panel behind it, but let me get this off. Yeah. All right, here's what it looks like with the panel down. You can see I still have this connected. This is the trunk release. I would have to remove a spring to remove that out of the plastic attachment, and I don't want to do that because I've done springs before in plastic pieces like this, and they're notoriously difficult to get back together. I did disconnect all these to release so I could look at this lower, but this gives me a good shot of what I want to do, but at least I can see better where I'm going to line this up. And then also I still do want to drill some sort of a hole where the this will have enough room to go through there and attach to the back of the controller, but not be exposed and likely to get getting in and out of the vehicle, potentially pulling it out of the back of the socket or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so after basically playing around with it, I've temporarily mounted this dash piece back, just clipped it in very loosely. It's not bolted. So I am going to mount this right here with just this plastic adapter. This will actually allow me to remove the brake controller if I needed to store it away when I'm not using it, because I won't. I don't have a trailer or any kind, and so I'm not going to be doing that very often. So I would like to actually be able to remove it. The tricky part will be to be cutting a hole here to fit the wiring and the plug that goes through there. So I'll do that once I get this piece attached, and we'll go from there. Here's one. All right. Don't want to tighten it down too much because obviously the potential for plastic to crack. So we'll just secure enough, and that should do it. Here's the plug. I do have the plug in, so it would go basically like this. So that's it. So really I could just do that. I don't want to. So we're gonna now try the how we're going to drill through that. I guess I could just drill a big enough hole through there. That would work. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. So, all right, so we're almost ready to drill. I'm going to drill a pilot hole in the plastic, and then I'll take this piece down, and so I'll have a little bit better visibility into how to drill it. But basically, I got to get something that's big enough for this to slide through. So obviously, this is not round; it's rectangular. But I think a drill hole is going to give me the best options. I don't really want to make a jagged mess here because that'll look terrible and it'll just really bother me if I know that that's wrong. But I can't. I know it's easy to just let this go like this. It'll be connected, but I just don't like to see wires. I just want it to look as OEM as possible. So that's just my OCD, and that's the way it's got to be. So I will. So I basically need a pilot hole right about here, I think. So let's go for that. There we go. Perfect. So I drilled my pilot hole. Look where it is. It's literally right in the center of this thing. If I could possibly have picked the worst spot, but I'll have to figure out. I don't want to necessarily remove this piece, so I would like to have the hole like here or here built into there, and it's probably structural to some extent to hold it in place, but I think these clips all do a really good job of holding it, so I'm not really too worried about if I had to literally cut that out. So hold on, let me just we'll take a look. Yeah, so very easy. The plastic's soft. I just used a 1/4-inch drill bit to get a big hole started there. So I just drilled another hole in it with that drill bit, and it's a little jagged, so it's not what I want, but I have a little small Dremel, and I'm going to see if I can just basically grind it out a little bit. Let's see if that'll fit through there. Oh, like a glove. Awesome. Next, I'm just gonna hand sand this down a little bit just to kind of clean it up on the back side. But this is actually not bad. I mean, if you look at the hole, it's pretty good. You don't have a lot of control with the Dremel, but it's not bad. So, all right, so next we're gonna go ahead and do a quick test fit. So let's put this through like that. I'm gonna go like this. Here's the top with the little clip. That should match the clip here. So it should go just like that and click. And that would be the way we'd set it up. And then this is gonna come back here and I'm just gonna temporarily snap it. So I got the ground wire is kind of funky. I'll have to, there we go, where's it at? Grab it so it doesn't do that. There we go. So there's the ground wire. I still haven't attached that. So let's get the device. So, and I could adjust it, make it go higher or lower, but right now that's in there. So I am very happy with how that turned out. So I'm gonna basically, you see how all I have to do is attach the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and hook everything back up, put this back, do all the bolts and tighten it up, and then we'll look at the actual finished result. But for the most part, I think I'm pretty close to being done. Excited. All right, very briefly, you can see here's everything connected back up again. You can see the wiring for the brake controllers coming right through here and down here. All I have to do is do the ground wire, which I'm going to do right there when I push this back in, and we should be good to go. Those bolts here. Get that lined up. There. Yeah. There we go. There's that. Snap that in place. Perfect. Well, one thing that's super disappointing already, this bracket literally already broke. So the plastic on this particular part is super cheap. Really disappointed. I think I'm going to probably contact Tekonsha and get another one, but that's ridiculous. I have to do this again. So I don't know if I tighten it I don't think I tightened this too hard at all. So this is the way it works. You can see that just completely useless. This is really upsetting. But yeah, that it snapped completely apart. So I have to get a new one. Literally falls apart. I must have cracked it or tightened it. I don't think I tightened it that hard. This is the kind of shit that happens to me when I work on stuff like this. That is so infuriating. So anyways, the controller works. When it's plugged in, it goes through its little cycle. It does its little number thing. I don't have a trailer attached, obviously, so it's showing me the right code that it doesn't have a trailer attached. Quick update to the install after the cheap plastic debacle. So I told my son about the whole incident and how I got it on film, and at the very end it all kind of went south. So he actually suggested instead of using the bracket at all, just use Velcro. So he brought over this 3M Dual Lock industrial Velcro. You see it right here. So it's basically an adhesive tape with Velcro, and you just attach it to the object. And I put it right here, so I don't have, I mean, I just covered up the screw holes. So I'm not going to use anything other than that. This should hold. It's, you know, it's extremely durable. I did clean it really well with alcohol on both the device and the surface here for surface prep. And then also you can see the dash, the plastic dash, it does have a grain to it. And that can impact the ability for the adhesive to sink in and bond with the surface. So I did take a little bit of fine grit sandpaper and I sanded this area down below it. So I think this is going to work really well. So I'm really, this is a great idea. Thanks, Ian, for cluing me into this. 3M Dual Lock looks like a winner. So I'm going to leave this until tomorrow on both of them, and then I'm going to come back out and test it out. And I think it'll be perfect, but I'll record that, and that'll be pretty much it for the install. So we'll see you tomorrow. All right, it's been almost 24 hours. And I've let the Velcro here sit, and also in the truck, which I put in last night. So with any luck, this should be an easy fit. All right, I'm gonna put this, clip it back in like this. Perfect. This works perfectly. So you can see, so I can adjust the boost, different levels, which is great. Here's the adjuster, and the great thing about this is it's the moment of truth. Yep, comes off really easily. Yeah, it's kind of an interlocking. It's not like regular Velcro. It's got these little tiny. They're very rigid. It's not a fabric. I looked at the website last night, reading more about it. They're like these interlocking plastic pieces. So this is not like Velcro fabric that you're probably used to. But it takes a little bit more effort to just, you push on it, almost like a Lego, and it locks in place. So yeah, it's kind of like a Lego block. Yeah, that's super secure. So quick update. One thing I also wanted to do was I wanted to kind of close up that hole that I drilled for the wiring. So that it wouldn't likely slip back into there when I didn't have the brake controller connected. So, you know, like this is how it looks. So what I ended up doing is just went to Lowe's and I bought this is like a 1 1/8 inch rubber grommet, and that literally fits perfectly. Just slid that over the thing, fits perfectly like that, and super clean, super OEM. Thing I didn't mention, the plug and play connector for this device, it was Toyota specific, but if you go on Tekonsha's website, if you have a different kind of vehicle, they have GM, I think Ford specific connections. So if you have plug and play, you should have that option, but it does come with its own pigtail where you could wire it into your existing tow package wiring if that's what you need to do. So it should work, but this was really, really simple with plug and play. So I'm pretty satisfied with it. The only downside was the plastic bracket. I thought it was just terrible quality, very cheap. So I'm assuming that comes with all of them. I would just like I did with this one, I would just skip it and go with this Velcro solution. It works great, and it allows you to take the device in and out so you can store it if you're not using it, which for me was kind of important. So anyways, highly recommend. If you like this, thumbs up, subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.